What's going on, YouTube? I am back with another story time, and if you like these story times, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. And in any case, this is the first time I tried Xanax. So basically, I was with my buddy Rob. He's pretty much the person that he's the guy that had the Xanax, and just kind of that little bit of time trying it. But how he introduced it to me, basically, it was like the morning after the first night hanging out, where we pretty much just got drunk and we smoked tons of weed, of course. But then, waking up into this grog, he was craving some McDonald's, and I was still kind of hungover, still a little gross, but just whatever, not exactly in the mood to go anywhere. And he was just like, he was not exactly in the mood to go anywhere either, but he was totally wanting that McDonald's. And he wanted to, he was like, dude, can you do me a favor here? I know I kind of want some McDonald's. Can you get me some McDonald's? And it's not like I have a car or anything. I mean, this is like, we're, 15? 16, maybe going on 16, but I didn't have a car. I was just visiting in California, and he did not have a car either. The car that technically was his was really a nice old school classic car that was just going to sit in the garage forever and not be touched. Basically a collector car. So he wasn't exactly driving either. Yeah, he was just craving that, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go all that way. Like, I don't know. And then he's like, I got some Xanax. You want to try some Xanax? I'm like, okay. You know what? Sure. Let me give it a try. I have been suffering with generalized anxiety for pretty much a good chunk of my life. And this is one of the most commonly prescribed medications for anxiety. Might as well give it a try. So he gives me, out of those little ladder things, it's got the 4 notches basically. He just snaps it in half, gives me 2 little things, and he goes, yeah, there you go. That should do you good. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. You're more experienced, whatever, I trust you. So I popped that in, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll head down. And basically, while we didn't have cars, we did have some BMX bikes. And so I actually rode, so his house was kind of on the top of a hill, and the McDonald's was like basically down the hill and just like straight, just a solid, probably like, maybe like a mile, like 1 mile exactly, just straight down this hill, down the road. And so basically I just, I start going down, and it kind of kicks in like right as I'm going down this hill, and I just start bombing it, and it just, I don't know, it just made me so relaxed. I mean, it was like, okay, this is what people without anxiety feel like. This is nice. It just made everything seem breezy. It's like, I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, a lot of people get really like zoned out or whatnot. It just felt like maybe it was like the first time I had felt kind of like relatively, like, other than sometimes, weed has really helped my anxiety too. But this was just like the first sort of like prescription medication I had tried that involved, anti-anxiety like that. And it seemed to work really well for me. I get to the McDonald's. Normally, I get pretty anxious even just going to a counter and like ordering stuff. I get a little bit of anxiety. So like that was pretty much like doled out. I was just like, hey man, I knew exactly what to get. You wanted like a Big Mac? Yeah, he basically was like, he basically got Big Macs for both of us, is what was the deal basically. He got us, yeah, that's right. He gave me like $30 to go down as well and it was 2 Big Mac meals. And now that I'm recollecting back, it was a bitch to get back because he wanted them large sodas And now it was a mile downhill one way. Great ride going to the McDonald's. Now getting back, now that was the challenge. That was, I mean, I was feeling great the whole time. I just somehow could not get frustrated and could not get worried at all. That felt great, but at the same time, it was kind of a bitch to haul this thing, with the BMX bike. And I mean, I basically tried to balance the drinks on the handlebars, like the centerpiece of the BMX bike, and just kind of walk it home a bit. Just kind of walk that, and that took a while to do, but it got there eventually. I had it down. But yeah, it was that final hill. That hill is actually pretty steep towards this place. So it's really nice to bomb, but it's really annoying to have to walk up with 2 things of large sodas and two Big Macs with fries. But could I complain? I was high. He bought me a freaking Big Mac meal too. It was great. I couldn't complain. So we got back there just fine. Everything just felt breezy for like a good half of the day. Well, it was pretty much breezy the rest of the day, thinking about it, because as I got back, we pretty much ate that, scarfed it down, and then smoked some bowls in the garage. So it ended up being a pretty nice day as it was. It was probably one of the most carefree times I've had in a long time. Thing is, that's also the downfall with it, because in reality, I would not recommend someone necessarily in my situation to ever even try that, because although it felt so nice in the moment and was great and felt so helpful and whatnot, Xanax, I will say, by the time I got back from my little stint experimenting and whatnot, even just for my little handfuls, like not even, I mean, some people can get through using Xanax for a while and be fine. I mean, this was just my little bit of experimentation, and I ended up with 6 months of having like dissociative disorder, where I just like, I basically didn't have access to Xanax anymore. It was like cold turkey going off, and it just like, it was like everything was a dream, and it like basically a nice chunk of my senior year of high school was I was kind of like in this weird zombie-esque dream-like state that was a bit of a nightmare to deal with. So that was like my stint, not having that medication, and it made me wish I never tried it in the first place. So yeah, that is also why I will never touch Xanax ever. Even though I am, technically speaking, have a good amount of anxiety and probably could easily get a prescription for it based on, my issues and my, whatnot. So it's like, I hesitate to recommend it to many people. It is a very dangerous drug. So be careful with that, Xanax people. In any case, if you do enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. You have a great rest of your day.